Hey mama, are you stressed by the lack of time in the day to do all the things? Are you feeling disconnected from God, your husband, and even your kids because patience and presence seem out of reach? Do you want a healthier body, mind, spirit, and home, but overwhelmed in where to start? Hey, I'm Shan Wright, daughter of the king, wife, mom to 4, RN, wellness coach, and I know very well what it feels like to want to live well, but about to lose it with my very blessed, full life. After realizing I can't pour from an empty cup, I tracked my way to whole body wellness and so much peace. If you are ready to cancel the stressed out life, learn tactical, intentional strategies as a mom wearing many hats, find more peace, confidence, and joy raising kingdom kids, then listen in. Come on, mama, together we got this. Really, God's got this. So go heat up that coffee again and turn your listening ears on. Let's chat. Hey mama friend, are you wanting to not miss a moment? Not take these precious lives you have been gifted to care for granted? To be the best mom, but it's led to feeling anxious, overwhelmed, and even burnt out on this whole mom thing. I found myself wearing an infant baby boy that I had prayed many hours for, stirring the pasta on the stove for my 2 and 4-year-olds, with tears streaming down my face. Was I supposed to feel this way? Why did it all seem so overwhelming? Why did I just scream at my precious 2-year-old? Why do I feel like a terrible mom? I got to my breaking down point and I knew I was losing it. I could feel the anxiety building. Would I have a full-blown anxiety attack at any moment? I stole some precious moments with just me and God, and He gave me the answers, simple answers that I could handle, and it brought so much peace. I want you to know that you don't have to keep going burnt out, stressed out, and hanging on by a thread because this is motherhood. Sis, there is time, energy, and peace for you. Even in the chaos, you can find peace. I invite you to sit with me for an hour so I can show you the solutions God gave me, so we can find that time, energy, peace, and presence you have been praying for. Come right now to bit.ly/Shan Wright. That's bit.ly/Shan Wright, right with the W, and let's calm the chaos inside together. And there might not be a better time to do this with me than right now. Right now, I'm actually having a birthday sale. I just turned 40 on April 2nd, and I want to gift you something for my birthday. Yes, because that's the good thing about giving, right? Is we give a gift and we feel the reward on the other side. And so I want to gift you, and then you're going to receive a reward, and that's going to gift me. So it's just birthday love all around for everyone. And this is 40% off my coaching price. This is cheaper than you're going to go buy something for me at Target if you were to do that, or another birthday party you have going on. This is an amazing deal. You don't want to miss out on it. And more importantly, I want to help you. I want to help you through all of this gift of life that I've been given. I have been shown by God that it's to share my story, what I've been through in all the ways that I can. And this is a new way that I've been doing it, and it really lights me up. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I can't wait to partner with you in your wellness journey and get you to share your story and get over the hump that you're dealing with right now so that you can share it with someone else and we can continue to spread the love. Okay, friend, go right now to bit.ly/Shan Wright to get in on that birthday sale. Okay, this only will go through April 9th. So you have a few more days. Make sure you go do that now and don't miss out. I can't wait. Today we're back with the second half of the conversation with my birthday buddy, Aimee Vorassi. We're going to continue to hear what she has done to manage her emotions and manage her holistic wellness in the middle of a diagnosis with her son, and how to be the best mom that she can for her son and her family. So let's dive right back in.
there was one picture. I knew it. I even remember saying to my mom, do you think there's something wrong with him?
Mm.
And it was 2 months later, he turned blue on us 4 times in one day. I knew it. Something was wrong, and then just kept snowballing. To that mom that goes to bed and cries at night, know that there are times where you're going to figure out your path. And what I talk about, accepting your child doesn't have the big red shiny bow, I want you to go at your pace. You don't have to listen to all the doctors. You don't have to listen to all the teachers or your family members that are saying things. You can go at your pace. And it's something that you have to accept. And you already see it. And I had somebody very close to us said, didn't she do anything? Didn't she recognize? Why aren't they talking about this? Well, we were already going to all these other doctors. We weren't ready to share.
Mhm.
Um, just know that during that accepting your child doesn't have the big red shiny bow, we talk about when we first get pregnant, we can't wait to watch our kids grow up, right? We don't want them to grow up too fast, but we look forward to the Disney trips, or we look forward to, their first day of kindergarten. We look forward to all the happy moments, but we never think anything's going to go wrong.
Right.
So you have to start accepting that the life that you had planned is going to shift. And while you're accepting that life, you're going to figure out things that are good in it, and they're going to be changes in you. Um, and you're going to have jealousy. I had jealousy bad
Yeah.
for, there's one family and this family knows this jealousy. Like, I've talked to this mom about it. She's one of my dear friends. And I said, I'm jealous. I remember I said, I'm jealous because you could take your kid to 4 things in one day, meaning she could take them to a baseball game, then go to ice cream, then go to grandma's, and then finish off the day by going to a movie. I
Mm.
would have been lucky to take Dominic when he was, younger, to one of those things in a weekend. So I had a lot of jealousy of that.
Right.
And I remember when there was a day that we actually got to do 2 things in a row. And I called her and I said, I had your day.
Mm.
And it was a great feeling. And it was starting to get to that point where I could add on to things, because we started to learn and adapt of how to make days work.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing that I started to learn was the life that I thought I was going to have is different, but there's some beauty and there's a bow. And Dominic has given me a better gift than I ever thought I was going to have. I don't think my marriage would be as strong as it is today if I didn't have Dominic. And we
Mhm.
speak on that behalf. We talk about it, that he has taught us how to communicate. He has taught us how to be able to admit, our strengths and weaknesses. And that's something I think is so important in any relationship. And also, everybody has an important part of the family. And that's something that I think is really important too.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So there's a lot there, but so I think one thing that you did, even just taking this jealousy story, is you named your heart emotion and you
Hmm.
said, and you recognized it, you were self-aware, and you
Hmm.
didn't just push it off. And when we push the negative emotions down, we know that they come out in
Hmm.
sideways. They come out on the people they shouldn't come out on. They come out as anger, yelling, frustration, words. And we don't want that. Our heart doesn't
Hmm.
want that. So what you did was you named it. You even told your friend. Like, that is confessing that negative emotion, which is huge. You're bringing it into the light. And then you were able, like, and it probably wasn't the next day, but you were able to see that when it happened, you took that as a true gift of healing from that negative
Hmm.
emotion. And like, that is just an amazing story of emotional wellness and growth. And like you said, like, a gift from Dominic that you were able, like, that's something you can't learn on the everyday and normal situation. Like, you were able to learn that from having a hard situation.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I think that's the thing that I've had to do is be we always say we want to be a learner, a life learner. But I think Dominic has really transitioned me into really being committed to that,
Mm-hmm.
because I have to be committed to keeping up with everything for, the autism community, but then also making sure I have my oldest son, that I want to make sure that I am present and fully ready. Like when I say, I don't want to empty or drain my bucket over here, that then he gets just what's left of me. So that
Yeah.
is the other thing that I've been really balancing. And, when you talk about, um, with the moms that are worried about maybe with their other children, how they're feeling during that time, or how do they juggle it? It's one day at a time. And sometimes, it could be every 5 minutes. Let me get through the next 5 minutes and then I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Then it gets longer and longer. And just finding your tribe is so important, but giving yourself grace that every every child doesn't need the same equal amount. They need what they need to fill their bucket, and
Yeah.
they'll figure that out.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about some practical things you did as
Mhm.
the mom that was struggling and trying to come to terms and of your expectations and all, and trying to care for yourself. What are
Mhm.
some practical things that you did to take care of your wellness, to have your own transformation? Because you didn't
Mhm.
just learn how to name your negative emotions out loud
No.
by your, like, that didn't just come to you. So
Right.
how did you learn how to do this? How did you learn how to take care of yourself and grow through all this?
That's great. Really, the play project helped me learn how to name my feelings. And because we were supposed to talk our feelings out loud from our head, because our doctor explained to us that Dominic really doesn't have that inner voice and dialogue. Through
Mm,
that, I started talking it out loud. So we would be talking our feelings out loud to Dominic, which sounds funny, but like it makes sense. But then it makes you really have a good conversation with yourself, but then also your spouse or your family to reflect on. So that's really how I started to acknowledge. I did some journal writing. I'm not going to lie.
mhm,
That was something practical. And
mhm,
I would do something when I was really upset and journal it out and then throw it out. So, like, take that, put the message, and then I wouldn't keep it in the journal because I never wanted to revisit it. To
mm,
me, it's done, it's gone. I really started looking at my nutrition myself. I don't know if autoimmune protocol, if you've ever heard of
mm,
that. So I did autoimmune protocol because I do have Hashimoto's. So it's like an elimination diet. So I
yeah,
started figuring out what the triggers were in my body. And I really realized that they weren't just triggering like how I was feeling and inflammation. It had so much to do with my overall core. And I really took in nutrition to be a big thing for myself. And then I started with my wellness journey, like where you and I have met, and made sure that I'm keeping up with the supplements for my body that I need. Where if you would have asked me that 15 years ago, I'd been like, I'll get to it.
yeah,
But like you said, now I can't. I have to live till I'm 150.
yeah,
I can't wait till I'm 60 to start taking care of myself. I've got
yeah,
to do it now. I
yeah.
was watching this lady who has a medically fragile child. She was speaking and she said, "This is a reminder to all of you to go to the doctor." She said, "I was having an issue and I wasn't feeling well. I knew I had pain. And I was like, oh, give me one more day. I'll feel better tomorrow." She did this for like 3 days. Day 5, she ended up in the hospital and had to have a procedure done that she probably wouldn't have had to have if she went on day 1.
Mhm.
And she said, we put ourselves on the back burner, that we don't even put ourselves on the front, because we want to, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And I think that's something that I switched was I've got to take control mentally, physically, and emotionally of myself, um, to be the best self. And that was like a light switch for me.
That's good. I hear from moms that don't even have a child with autism or with very challenging circumstances. They just have maybe several kids. They're just overwhelmed with life because life is stressful, because it really is. And they say, I've heard them say, I'll get to my body. I'll get to the doctor. I'll take care of myself in a few years. Like they
Mhm.
literally say when she's in school or when he's in school or when, right now it's all about them and I'll get back to
Mhm.
my life later. I I'm always like, but wait, if you
Mhm.
do that, what about right now? What's happening to their life right now if you're so unwell? Because even an autoimmune disorder like Hashimoto's, that's affecting your whole body, not just your
Mhm.
hormones and not just
Right.
your thyroid. Like it's affecting a lot of things, but we compartmentalize. I hate that word. And we try to say, look, well, this is a physical ailment. And so
Mhm.
I'll go take care of it later, but we don't realize it's affecting our emotional wellness. It's affecting
Mhm.
so much of us. And we just think that we're not worth the time. Our bodies aren't worth the care. And we look at it as being, I think some people look at it as being like selfless and like, I'm giving
Mhm.
all of me to my kids right now. They need so much of me. But if you didn't take care of yourself, and Dominic does need so much of you, you wouldn't be able to
Mhm.
give him your best you.
You're so right. And they're watching. They're watching and they see what we do. They see if we're happy. They see how we're taking care of ourselves. Like even my husband, he is starting to take care of himself better too. And
Mhm.
he's lost a lot of weight. He's went on a,
I
um,
noticed that when I saw him.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't say anything, but he looks really good.
thank you. He's working at it. And like it's the kids see him go for a walk. They see what he's, putting in his body and taking that. And that's so important because we're modeling. We started doing these, allowing Dominic to do some of his stories in the morning for his Instagram page. And it really triggered me to realize how much they're aware
Mm.
because Dominic, and he sometimes he's a little bit tricky to understand and he's working himself through it. But he goes, okay, and we got to go over here, mom. And he knows like where he goes because that's where I do my stories. And I'm like, if he
Ah.
sees me doing that,
Mhm.
he's seeing me do so many other things. And then I think about I watch my oldest son with his girlfriend and how they're mimicking at times the way my husband and I interact. I'm like, okay, we have
Yeah.
to model how we're taking care of ourselves now. We can't wait. And I think in my beginning of my life, I was that mom
Mhm.
that stopped feeling pretty, that stopped loving her body, that was like covered up. I cannot do you know I did not wear my first bikini until I was 40 years old?
Wow! That's
That is
amazing.
crazy. And
That's
now
amazing.
and because I hated my body. I
Yeah.
hated it. And
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been on vacation together before. Now I wear a bikini. I don't care. I'm like, let's just have fun.
And you look
Let's love it.
amazing. You look
Thank
amazing.
you. But we our kids see that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like about a bikini, but they see if we like our bodies. They
Yeah.
see if we like ourselves and if we're happy.
Yeah.
And I think that bucket list that my girlfriend and I made when we were 40
Mhm.
was huge. Like we had a list of things that we were going to do and we just started checking them off.
That is so
And
fun.
yeah, and it was fun. And we did it on a whim. We did it on a whim. We said we were at dinner one night and we said, we're committed to this. And,
Mhm.
the funny thing is she's also the one, I think that Ed is partners in mental health practices now, right? He has 3 of them. We were out to dinner
Oh.
one night and she said she is in mental health. And she's like, I want to open a mental health practice. Will you partner with me? And he's like, sure. This was
Wow.
2.5 years ago. Now they have 3 different locations, but you know,
That's awesome.
don't stop if you have an idea or don't stop if you want to change. You don't have to wait till your kids are,
Yeah.
driving or in high
Yeah.
school or in college. Gosh, just do it
Yes.
now.
Yes. Because, yeah. Or if, once they get out of the house or whatever, because it's like, you don't know what challenges that is going to be in
Mm-hmm.
that kid's life, that you have to be all the best of you to help them handle that,
Mm-hmm.
just like you had.
Absolutely.
So you've given me such an idea, being that it is my 40th birthday. Maybe I need to do a bucket list or
I think
something
you do.
of some
I
sort,
think you need to.
and use the
And
podcast as my accountability partner.
yeah, I was going to say that could be your accountability partner, because I will say my friend Emily was my
Yeah.
accountability partner. So, which is fun. And, find that accountability partner in life.
Yes.
And it could be different people for different seasons, and it could
Yes.
be different people for different areas of your life. And that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah. So
really
I don't
okay.
even know if you know this, Aimee, but I call myself an accountability coach. And that's what I coach on,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's huge.
Yes.
And I love to hold people to their goals, their intentions, their what they want to take action in. I want to hold you to that, because we
Mm-hmm.
say these things sometimes, and we that is what our heart wants, but we don't have the follow through because life gets in the way. Well, I want to hold you
Mm-hmm.
to your goals because I love that. Okay, so there was something else that you said that I really wanted to touch on. Oh, Dominic and his stories.
Yes.
He is like a little light bulb. I love it. Can you share, just for the listeners, where they can see him and like
Sure.
watch his stories or whatever he's doing online? I love it. I literally like smile from ear to ear when I watch him.
Sure. So Dominic has a Facebook page called Autism I Have a Plan. We have just now transitioned it over to Instagram and TikTok also. We're kind of allowing it to evolve. I mean, it went from this child that was nonverbal, could not speak,
That's amazing.
to having the teacher having to put a post-it note on him, like when we left, so we knew what to ask him about, or, to him talking and
Hmm.
doing a story. And I love the fact that he tells people he came up with "I love you," and he always ends everything with "boom." And I don't know where it came from, but I'm all for it. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Um, but we're kind of allowing him to take the journey of where Autism I Have a Plan goes,
Hmm.
and following his lead,
Hmm.
because um, we're in this journey, but he is our tour guide and we are all for it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So, um, can you explain a little bit what "I have a plan" means?
Sure. So the reason why we call it Autism I Have a Plan is because when he was first diagnosed, that's when my husband and I looked at each other and said, we can make a plan. Now we have a plan.
Right.
So Autism I Have a Plan came from that, because that from that diagnosis, we knew that we could make it okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because before that, he had some diagnoses that were false, that we were told that he wouldn't live past 10. And so that was really traumatic for
Hmm.
me in many ways. I had a lot of hard time going to certain doctors because of a fear
Yeah.
of what they were going to tell me. I hated going to the genetic doctor for him, hated it. Um, but then when we got autism, I was able to then say, we can make our plan now. So that's where Autism I Have a Plan came from.
Oh, I love that. And I had heard you say that earlier in the conversation, and I was like, I bet you that's why they call it
Mm-hmm.
that. That's so good. So, yes, I mean, I could talk about this much longer with you, but I do want to respect your time. So, can you share where people can hear more about Autism I Have a Plan exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and how they can, help spread autism awareness, or how they can get involved in any
Mm-hmm.
sort of way?
Sure. So you can find Autism I Have a Plan on our Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. You can also look, I would encourage you to look at the Play Project by Dr. Rick Sullivan for resources.
Hmm.
There's so many great local chapters that if you want to get involved in your community, there's many autism societies in each city. Those are ones that I would reach out to. Those are going to be your core groups. Those are going to be your mom and dad's, like down in the, in it right there with you, and will be able to give you great resources. I really think the best resources that I have found are through local support and community.
Okay. And so you had mentioned find your tribe to the mom, right? You mentioned to her, find your
Mhm.
tribe. Is there a particular like no matter where she's listening from, where can she find her autism tribe?
Yeah. So, each city's a little bit different. There is usually so we have the Dayton Autism Society. A lot of them will have, the Rochester Autism Society that's
Mhm.
another one. I would look at that, but really find out in your community. Like we have Miracle League Baseball. Miracle League Baseball is all over the country. And it sounds so scary, but they play with a wiffle ball. You're
Mhm.
okay. It's safe. Go to any of those, find the community. Don't be afraid to go because you think your child. I put it off for so many years because I was like, oh, my kid can't do that. My kid can't do that. But
Mhm.
in reality, none of the kids really are doing it. They're all just having fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I would push in, lean in to opportunities in your community that are out there and resources because that's where you're going to find your tribe.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, one of my friends, her son is still nonverbal. I think he's 7 or 8 or somewhere in there. And she put on her stories of them running the bases and she was running with him. Oh my gosh, I cried. It was like, and there's been other videos there she showed of him like laughing and she's like, this is my favorite sound. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that is amazing. So if you can find another mom that you can connect with, whether
Mhm.
it's on Facebook and like some kind of social media resource. They don't have to live by you, but if you
Mm-mm.
can find them and just share with them, then, and hear their story and, then that's
Absolutely.
can be a friendship that starts.
There's so many friendships, especially with social media now. My godson is up in New York and he is in fifth grade. He's nonverbal and love him. Amazing kid. But his mom and I are dearest friends. And now we'd only see each other maybe once a year. But I know I can pick up the phone at any time, call her, and tell her what's going on. But really, any parent that is going through this is one that you could latch onto and they would be there to wipe your tears or be your biggest cheerleader. And I have really noticed that other families that are in the community will be your biggest cheerleader and they will love your child and be accepting of your child even when they do things that you're like, "Oh my gosh, did that really just happen?" So,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Wow.
all need that. We all need that go-to friend and don't always think it's gonna be the family member or the friend that you have now. It could be a complete stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone who gets it. Um, that's why we have to share our story so that you can find the story that you connect with and that gets you and you get them. And
Mhm.
that's really cool. So, okay, well, again, everyone, go follow Autism I Have a Plan. Go follow and watch Dom on stories. He's going to make your day so much better.
Well,
And
thank
I just
you.
want to thank you so much, Aimee, for coming. It has been a great conversation. I think you've really helped a lot of moms out there today, no matter if they have a child with autism or not. I think you've just really given some great encouragement.
Well, thank you so much, and, my inbox is always open, and I just want to be a support to anyone that's going through this because I know that we all need that person in our life at some
Yeah.
point.
So if someone wants to contact you, should they go through Autism I Have a Plan, or do you
Yeah.
want them to contact your personal?
That probably the best way is the Autism I Have a Plan.
Okay.
They can reach out to me. I am on Facebook and on Instagram, Aimee Vorassi. I'm more than welcome to help out and just be a support. I always give back to the community um, because I needed somebody when I was going through it and someone was there for me. So I pay it forward. And that's really important to me.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I'm going to put your links in the show notes if you all didn't catch that. So you can just look in the show notes and they will be there. And I am so grateful for your time today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at the Shan Wright so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, May the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.